So today I want to break down my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K handheld rig. It's a really great rig that I've been using for about a month now on things like weddings and commercial projects, and it's been a really great setup for me so far. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. I think it's the perfect heaviness for something like the Hollywood handheld look. And it solves a lot of problems like the monitoring problem, how the screen doesn't move, and the battery life issue. It's sort of an expensive rig, but some of these things were given to me, and I was kind of inspired by some videos I saw and some rigs that I've seen in person with someone that I work with, and I sort of love to shoot handheld anyway as it is. So I figured it was a worthwhile investment, and you kind of know that when you buy this camera, you're not going to be able to sort of just right out of the box throw a lens on it and start shooting, just because it's not that kind of a camera. It's not something like a DSLR. With that being said, it's a really great rig and it solves a lot of issues that the camera has, and I definitely think it's something that I'll be using for a while. You know, this sort of idea for a setup is not really mine. I definitely didn't come up with this on my own. It's definitely a really functional and a really versatile rig for this camera. So I'm just gonna get right into the breakdown of it, and we'll see what it takes to build this up. So the first thing you're gonna need for this setup is gonna be the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, obviously. You're also gonna need the cage with the small rig SSD mount attached. And I also attached a cold shoe here as well. A top handle for the cage. You're also going to need this small rig base plate. I use this 3-legged thing switch clamp V2. It's an Arca Swiss quick release plate. I think it works pretty well for this. You're also going to need the small rig super lightweight 15mm rail blocks. You're also going to need the small rig V-lock cheese plate. You're going to need a set of 15mm rails. These are, I think, the 12-inch, but I think the 6-inch ones might work as well. I use this for my tripod, just a standard tripod Manfrotto quick release plate. I use this small rig ball head for the monitor, so you'll need that as well. I use these Castar 166 watt-hour V-mount batteries. An SSD for storage. I use this cable with a D-tap end to Pocket Cinema Camera end to power the camera. A USB-C cable for the SSD. And I use this coiled HDMI cable for the monitor. Andy Cine A6 monitor. It's a 1080p monitor. It's pretty good. And then to power the monitor, I use just standard Sony NPF batteries. So now let's actually start to build this thing. So first, starting with our camera, we're going to add the cage. This cage is assuming that you already put on the SSD holder and the cold shoe. So now that the cage is on, we're going to add the quick release to the base plate. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this, the actual quick release plate itself, screw it onto the Blackmagic camera. And you definitely want everything to be really tight because rigidity is always good to have. You don't want anything falling apart because that's the most annoying thing. Now we're going to add this plate to the camera. And it locks in with this little lever here. Boom. So now it's sitting up like that. Now at this point, we can add the rails. Just unscrew these little levers here. like to get them about 2 inches in front of the camera. And we're going to tighten it down. And the next one. Bothers me when they're not exactly even. So we're going to make them even. At least try to. Just for this tutorial's sake. And now let's just add the tripod plate just to get it out of the way. Like I said, it's definitely good to use a screwdriver to tighten all of these down because you don't want anything coming loose. That should be about good. So now we've gotten this far. I think the next thing would be to add the rail block. You'll see what we'll do with the rail block. Put it about halfway down. And then we're going to add this plate to the rail block to hold the battery. Actual threaded spots. Most of these things take an Allen wrench, and they usually with small rig, which I really appreciate that they do, is they always send you Allen rigs or Allen wrenches with everything. So that's sort of like a kind of a reason that I like their company too. Sure, tight. Like I said, we don't want anything falling off of here. Okay, next we're going to add the top handle to the camera. There's really no specific order that I'm doing this in. I'm going. You definitely don't want this to be loose because you could be holding the camera by the top handle and then it just falls right off. Okay, so now we got the main sort of structure of the thing built. Now we can throw on the monitor, which I usually just take this and I add one of these little 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch screws, which I will also link because you definitely need these. They're nice. They're really nice to have, just for all sorts of different purposes. You just screw it to the front of the handle. So now we will add the monitor to the little thing, the little articulating arm. And this isn't really the best solution for this because it kind of falls off sometimes, comes loose a little bit. So I definitely need to come up or figure out a better solution for this. But it works, it's definitely good. I just sometimes have to tighten it down. And now we can now add our battery to the camera. Should be on there. We can even scoot this up a little closer. Have some room. Tighten this down. Okay. So now we will add our SSD for recording. Plug it in. Oh, we also can add our Rode mic for a good scratch track. It's always good to have. They're kind of annoying, but they're good to have. Sure. And throw a battery on the monitor. See, just came loose. And our HDMI cable. And then we can add our power cable to for the battery, for the V-mount battery. And there we go. And that plugs in, boom, like that. And that's pretty much it. Super simple, super easy to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to this channel for more hot content.